Hi guys, so in the previous video we saw how we can host a simple static website on Amazon S3 and we explore all the available options that we see in the S3 console and we discuss the technical things behind each and every options. So in this video we will see how we can use Cloudfront to serve the static website that is hosted on Amazon S3. So first we will create a S3 bucket and we will upload all these files and then we will integrate the Cloudfront to serve this content as a static website on Amazon S3. So before we deep dive, let's discuss or let me introduce, uh, give an introduction of Amazon S3 or sorry the Amazon Cloudfront service. So before deep dive, let me give you an introduction of Amazon CloudFront service. So it is basically a web service that speed up the distribution of our static or dynamic content such as HTML file, CSS file, JavaScript file, or the images file, whatever the content we are storing in the S3 bucket. So it will speed up the distribution of this content to our end user. So uh, CloudFront basically deliver your content through a worldwide network of the data center called the edge location. So whenever a user requests the content that you are serving with the CloudFront, the request will be routed to the edge location that will provide the lowest latency or the less time delay. So the content will be delivered with the best possible performance. So for example, suppose you have hosted a website in the AWS US region, and it might be possible that some of your user is in the Asia region. So when the user in the Asia region make a request to website, it has to make a connection between the Asia region to the US region. So there will be some time delay or there will be some latency to the end user. So to improve this or to reduce this time delay, we can use the CloudFront. So CloudFront basically provide us the edge location. So so in this case, the CloudFront will provide the edge location that will be nearby in the Asia region or located in the Asia region. So the content will be directly served from that location. Make it doesn't have to make a connection to the US region. It can the content can directly served from the edge location that is hosted on the Asia region itself. So let's first create the S3 bucket. So let's go into the S3 service console. So you can type the S3 in the search bar. Let me refresh the page. Okay, search for the S3. Click on this S3 service. Okay, so let's discuss the S3 service very briefly. So in the S3 we have concepts of bucket and the object. So the bucket you can consider it as a container, and in that container we can upload or we can save any files and folder. And these files and folder will be termed as a object. So let's create the bucket. So click on the create bucket, and now we have to specify some of the configuration. So if you want to understand all these available options that you see in the console, if you want some technical detail, I will highly recommend my previous video where I have discussed each and every option and all the concepts behind these options. So in this video, let's walk through or let's go through each and every steps. So for the bucket name, we have to specify a unique name that should be or that must be globally unique. So let's give a name something like cloud demo CloudFront website. For the US region, you can select any region based on your customer base. So if your customer base is mainly in the US region, you can select US region. If your customer base is Asia region, you can select any Asia region. So for this demo, let's select the US region only. And object ownership, let's keep it disable. So what this uh, what this option tells, if you want to allow other AWS account to access all the content or all the object inside this bucket, you can enable. Let's block all the public access because we will be going to use the CloudFront. So we want only CloudFront to access the content inside this bucket. We don't want the user to directly access this the files and folder inside this bucket. We want only the CloudFront to access these files. So make sure to tick this or to block all the public access. The bucket wording we can enable or disable. Let's keep it disable for this demo only. The text, we don't need text, it is completely optional. Default encryption, you can enable the encryption or disable encryption as per your requirement. More details you can find in my previous video. And now let's create the bucket. The bucket is in the progress. So the bucket is created successfully. So let's select our bucket. Now we have to upload all the files and folders. So for this demo, I have a demo template, which is basically a bootstrap template which we are going to upload. So I have some HTML files, some JavaScript files, some CSS files, some images. So I will be going to upload all these files and folder inside our newly created bucket. So if you see in my local, so this is currently hosted on my local server. So this is the same template that I uploaded in my last video. So this we will be going to upload in our S3 bucket, and we will configure CloudFront with this website. So let's upload all the files and folder related to this template. So click on the upload. Now click on the add files. So first I will upload all the files. Now I will upload all the folders. So folder, I have to select one by one. So I select the first one, asset folder. Click on the upload. Now select the other folder. Click on the forms and click on the upload. Upload. Now click on the upload. Okay, the upload is in the progress. So let's complete it, and I will come back after the upload is completed. Okay, the upload is completed and it is showing success. So let's close this. So you can see all the files and folder that we just uploaded. So these are the files and folders. So here I just want to focus on this one file, index.html file. So this is very important file. So this file will be served, or will be the root file, or you can say the landing page for our website, or the home page for our website. So make sure to have this index.html file as your root file. So now open the CloudFront in another tab, and now we will integrate. I have to refresh it again. So now we will integrate this bucket with the CloudFront. So the CloudFront will communicate, or will make a connection with this bucket, and will serve this the bucket as a static website. So select CloudFront. Okay, select and open it in new tab, and we will create a new distribution. So let's discuss each and every option for this CloudFront. So first we have origin domain. So we have to select an origin for this CloudFront. So in our case, the origin will be S3 bucket, because we are going to serve the S3 bucket as an origin. So let's select the S3 bucket. So demo CF website. So demo CF website is my bucket name, and this .s3, it is the endpoint for that bucket. So we are using the REST endpoint for our bucket. So with this endpoint, the CloudFront will communicate, or will access this S3 bucket. So select this bucket. After selecting bucket, this is the optional path. So suppose you want to route the something, like if you use this. So this is the our domain name. So if you want to append anything after this, you can say HTML HTML file. So if you want to append any URL after the domain name, you can specify it here, or you can say contact.html, whatever as per your requirement. You can append anything after your domain name. So let's keep it as empty, because we don't need, and it's completely optional. So this will be going to the domain name for our CloudFront distribution. And now the S3 bucket access. So this will be very important for our case. So because we want only the CloudFront to access our bucket, we don't want user to directly access our files and folder from the S3. We want the user to uh, access the CloudFront or use the CloudFront distribution, and then the CloudFront distribution will access all the files and folder from the S3 bucket. So we have to use the OAI. OAI stand for Origin Access Identity. So if you select the original OAI, this option, so it will ask you to specify the origin access identity. So if you don't have anything, if you haven't created it before, then you can create new OAI, or you can select any existing or any access identity OAI. So I have already created, or you can create a new OAI. So let's create a new OAI. Create. Okay. Now also please make sure to select this yes update the bucket policy. So because we want only the CloudFront to access our S3 bucket. We don't want the user to access the all the files and folder from the S3 bucket directly. So if you go back to the S3 bucket, and if you select the permission tab, and if you scroll below, and you will see currently we have blocked all the public access. And if you see the bucket policy, the bucket policy is currently nothing. It is no policy to display. So currently it has no policy, and we are blocking all the public access from internet. So no one can access the objects and files from this bucket. So if we select this option, yes, update the bucket policy, what it will do, it will basically update the bucket policy for this bucket to allow the CloudFront to make a GET request to the for all the files and folder inside this bucket. I will show you how it will. I will show you once we create the distribution. So for the customer header, you can add any customer header. Like for the request, HTTP request, we can have some specific header. So you can add any specific header in for every request as per your requirement. So for now, let's we don't add anything, we don't add any header. And for if you want to have some kind of a caching layer on the top of the CloudFront, you can enable the origin field. If you select the yes, then it will add a additional caching layer on the top of the CloudFront. And after that, you can also specify the default the caching behavior. So let's keep it the default for now for the simplicity for this demo. For the viewer, this will be also very important thing. So the viewer protocol policy is basically when user try to access your CloudFront distribution with HTTP or HTTPS, the user can use both the protocol, the HTTP protocol as well as the HTTPS protocol, or the user can also use the HTTPS only. So user cannot use the HTTP protocol to access your CloudFront. Or you can also enable the rule saying if the user try to access the CloudFront with the HTTP, then redirect it to the HTTPS protocol. So for this demo, let's allow the user to access the CloudFront distribution with HTTP as well as HTTPS. Similar, you can also allow the HTTP method get, head, post, put, patch, anything. So let's keep it as a get and head for the HTTP method. Also request viewer access. So if you want the user to if you want let's say if you want only the premium user or the paid user to access your content inside the bucket, you can enable the restrict viewer policy. So what it will do, it will create a CloudFront sign-in URL. So only the user which do have this sign-in URL can only access the content. Okay. Similarly, you can also have a sign-in cookie. So the user the user uh, which have this sign-in cookie or sign-in URL, they can only access the content for particular duration, because that you can consider it as a token. So for the particular time duration, the user can access the content inside your bucket. So let's keep it as a no for this demo. And then you can specify the caching key and origin requests. Let's keep it as default because these are the advanced options. And one more thing I want to discuss with you, this use all the external locations, so edge location. So like we discussed, the CloudFront provides some edge location all around the world. So you can select the edge location for all around the world. It will give the best performance, but it will also charge you more. You can also specify the edge location based on your this location, like North America or Europe. So if you select all edge location, then it will give you the best performance, and you will also pay more. You will also pay more, and then use the WAF. So WAF means this is also a AWS service. Web stand for Web Application Firewall. So Web Application Firewall basically provide a secured or a shield layer. So if anything or any malicious request comes to the CloudFront distribution, it will basically block, or it will just restrict any malicious request to the CloudFront. It will add a security layer on the top of the CloudFront distribution. So currently I have not created any WAF, so I cannot select. But if you have some security concern, then you can add a WAF here and configure this that AWF here. Okay, so for the alternate domain name, if you have custom domain, then you can also specify the alternate domain, the CNAME here. So CNAME you have to specify in the Route 53 service, and then you can add the item here, and you can add your custom domain here. For the SSL certificate, you can manage SSL certificate with the SCM certificate or IAM certificate. So if you have purchase, or if you have existing or SSL certificate, you can import or use that SSL certificate with this CloudFront distribution. Okay, so this is also important thing, default use root space. So I have to specify the root I have to specify the root file or root object for this the demo. So like I say, uh, I have a root file which is the index.html file. So I have to specify the root file for for my website. So we have index.html file as a home page or the landing page for our website. So I have to specify the root file, root object. So let's specify html index.html as a root file, and you can also enable the logging. So the if you want to enable the login, you can simply select the on option, and it will store the log inside the S3 bucket. Okay, so these are all the options which we can configure, and I think it is very quite handy or quite advanced things. So let's create the distribution. So the distribution is created, but it will take some time to deploy these website or this bucket or to in all the edge location all around the world. So basically it may take time up to 20 minutes or more. So let me pause this video. Once the deploy is completed, and I will come back and I will show you some more things. So before that, like I said, the after we create the bucket, then it will update the bucket policy. So let's check the bucket policy. So if you go into the proper permission tab, and if you check the bucket policy, now you can see the bucket policy is this. So this is updated. So what this is saying, allow everything inside this bucket, demo CF website, allow everything inside this bucket to the CloudFront user to effect allow. So allow everything inside this bucket to the CloudFront to make or to get an object, or means to read the files. So the CloudFront can only read the files inside this bucket. So the CloudFront can read any number of files or any object inside this bucket. So now only the CloudFront can access this website. Nothing or no one from the internet can access these files and folders. Only the CloudFront will communicate or will connect with this bucket, and it will serve the web. It will serve all the files from the CloudFront only. The user cannot directly access the files and folder from the S3 bucket. So this is the advanced layer which we added from the OAI, origin access identity. So the CloudFormation distribution is still in the deploying state. So let it complete, and I will come back. Okay, my CloudForm distribution is now deployed. You can see last modify, or you can go back to one level up, and you will see it is enabled. It is last modify March 27. So let's select this distribution, and let's copy this domain. So from this domain we can access our CloudFront distribution. So let's open a new tab and select this distribution, and we will hopefully see our website, and yes, it is working. So this is now directly served from the S3 bucket. The CloudFormation is making a request to S3 bucket, and S3 bucket is now served as a static website. So you can see the website is hosted on Amazon CloudFront distribution. So if I try to say try to go to some invalid URL, then it will show me the errors.access denied file. Okay, so this is how we can configure S3 bucket to be served as a static website using the CloudFront. Okay, thank you. I hope this video is useful.